Right lads, it is that time of season. I think I'm going to make some absolutely shocking statements and I'm just bracing you guys. So yeah, in 20th, and we have a team that a lot of people are going to back for relegation, and that is Sheffield United. Now, I mean, last season in the Championship, they did attain 91 points, which, you know, can be seen as impressive. So fair play, you did well in the English second tier, but going up to the first tier, they are going to have the most struggle. Selling their star player Ndiaye, I think that's how you pronounce his name, will just be a shocking decision. Marseille are going to have such a beautiful, talented player on their hands, and Sheffield United they're just going to go down. On top of that, I'm sorry, but Paul Heckingbottom. Alright, mate. In 19th, and we have Wolves. 13th last season on paper. Looks like, you know, they did more than enough, but realistically, it was so close for them to be relegated. It was such a small gap. Raw talents like Nunez and Kalajdzic, who has come back from injury, I definitely think he will bag. I think Wolves, they're just going to struggle so much at facilitating the emptiness that Collins and Wolves legend Neves will leave. I can see Julen Lopetegui getting sacked in January. I'm a massive fan, but I just don't think that the owners are doing well enough. It's just going to crumble. It's going to crumble. In the 18th, and we have Luton. Now, I feel like a lot of people are going to say Luton to go literally rock bottom, but I feel like they just won't do the worst. I feel like they'll do a decent shift in the Premier League. You know, more than what is expected, because they're not expected to go 18th. In the whole entire Premier League, they do have the worst squad, and it shows. I mean, Tahith Chong is a star signing. Bloody hell. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Luton fans. In 17th, and we have Everton. Now, Everton have recently been one of those clubs that everyone says they're going to go down to the Championship, especially in the last two seasons when they have been in relegation battles. But for the last two seasons, in my predictions, I have consistently backed Everton to stay up. And what have I got for that? Nothing but praise. So why not? I'm going to do it again. Danjuma for £4 million. That is a deal. He will be absolutely fantastic for the Toffees. On the plus side as well, Brantwaite coming back from the Netherlands, obviously from his PSV loan. He'll just create a more solid environment in that back line. In 16th, and we have West Ham. West Ham have easily, by far, had the worst transfer window out of any club in the top 5 leagues. There is no doubt. Bottling young talent Gomez, because obviously he went to Ajax. It was just embarrassing. And on top of that, not signing the likes of Paulinho or JWP was disappointing. Speaking of Rice, and not Rice like the food, Declan Rice, he is going to be a huge miss. Saying that, I do think they'll survive, and Moyes, I feel like Sullivan would have already sacked him if, you know, he really wanted him to go. In 15th, and I do have Bournemouth, their team performances just simply amaze me. Yes, I believe last season they were better with O'Neill, who obviously was sacked and left the club, but players like Milos, who they have signed in this summer window from AZ, is just a massive improvement at left back, and I guarantee tactically we will see a more compact and more consistent Bournemouth side. Well done, you cherries. 14th, Nottingham Forest. If it wasn't for the second half of the season, I probably would have backed Nottingham Forest to go down this season. Forest, they just gradually got better and better. Under Steve Cooper, he started to, you know, gain knowledge about the new signings, because obviously they made so many new signings. He had to test them all, and it just wasn't working. They weren't gelling. But now I feel like he knows who can do a shift, and he knows who they need to get out of the club. And this transfer window, they've been much more smarter. The ownership have done a way better job. I'm predicting Morgan Gibbs-White and Brenan Johnson, one of my favourite duos, to get over 35 goal contributions in the Premier League. 13th, and I am saying it, Burnley. The Clarets were fantastic last season, achieving over a 100-point season in the Championship. But can they take the step up? Well, I mean, you already know. I've already said for them to survive. Vincent Kompany's young and talented side with positive, attacking, fluid football completely contrasts to how Dyche did in the Premier League, how Dyche played his football. I think it will kind of be a new start for Burnley in a good way. The bigger teams and even the smaller teams will be completely shocked about this new type of Burnley, and players like Brownhill and Cullen will absolutely be engines in that side. 12th, and we have Fulham. The London side placed 10th last season, but I can see them dropping off just so slightly. Fulham will of course stay up, and well done to them. I don't see them doing as good as they did last season because they just had such a high. Good news for Fulham fans, Marco Silva is staying. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the few people who actually rejected Qatar. Jimenez signing from Wolves will be decent. I'm saying for him to at least get 8 Premier League goals. And Mitrovic, don't even need to speak about him. 11th, we have Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace with Hodgson will for sure run all over the bottom 10 teams. That's how they're going to get most of their points, and will continue this sort of weird, strange run of form they had in the middle to end of last season. Sheikh Doucouré, he's a personal favourite of mine. I'm a defensive player, he's a defensive player. I respect the man. He'll just be a wall to help the Crystal Palace defence. Olise, if he doesn't move to City, please don't, he'll have at least over 20 goal contributions in this league. 10th, and I have Brentford. Brentford, they're just one of those sides I know won't be anywhere near top 4, but won't be anywhere near relegation. Signing Collins will prove to be a tactically smart signing, and Ivan Toney, he'll surely be missed. Hopefully, this time he'll be betting on his team. 9th, I have Spurs. I'm sorry, Spurs. There's a certain little guy who's watching this video, and I'm sorry. But I mean, look at your signings. Solomon, you're joking. You must be joking, right? Even if Harry Kane stays, which I predict to happen, you're looking at a very uninspiring team. I'd love to back a fellow Aussie in Ange Postecoglou, but I just don't think his style meshes well with Tottenham. I think when he was at Celtic, they're a very attacking team that ran all over teams. Tottenham, they're not so much like that. Saying that, I'm predicting for Son to have a little bit of a better season, with him beating his 14 goals in 2022-23. 8th, and we've got Brighton. Yes, Moises Caicedo and Macallister will be a big miss, but Brighton, they'll continue to be a force in 2023-24. They literally sell their best players every season, and it always works out. João Pedro improves the attack phenomenally, and the young striker will score at least 10 Premier League goals. Alongside Ferguson as well, he is such a rough diamond, and I would have loved him at United. The likes of De Hood will be successes, and just overall, I'm a massive fan of De Zerbi, and I think he's created a very positive environment at the club. Potter, he's not even been missed. 7th, and I've got Aston Villa. I can't believe the transformation of this club. It is mad. I remember when they were 16th under Gerrard, this man got sacked. Next thing you know, they're in bloody Europe. Unai Emery suits Villa so well, and new signings Diaby and Pau Torres. Wow. Even the likes of Tielemans, they are Europe quality, and that's what's going to keep them going far in Europe, keep them doing very well in the Premier League. Villa fans, you lads should be very excited, and this is a side I want to watch a lot in the 2023-24 season. 6th, and I have Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle fans will be very happy seeing as how high they ended last season, obviously getting Champions League football. But I am telling you, from a Manchester United fan who's had to do one season of Champions League, one season of the Europa, the balance between Champions League football and Premier League football is much harder than you will expect it to be. I think you're going to drop off slightly. Don't get me wrong, you have a great season, another one where you still get Europe, but I think you did miss out on signing Maddison. I think he could have been a beast, but yeah. I mean, Europa League football, it's not bad. Just us Liverpool fans. 5th, and I have Arsenal. Alright. I was right about Arsenal bottling the league, which I completely I said it throughout the whole entire season. So why not? I'm trusting my gut again. They're not getting Champions League football. I think last season was a one-time thing, and they were just lucky to have so many clubs on bad form, such as like Chelsea, Liverpool. Havertz, I think he'll be a surprise. I think he'll get better the more he plays, and especially in the second half of the season. So I forgot to mention that Saka's going to do pretty well. Oh, I almost knocked over my TV. I think he's going to get over 20 Premier League goals this season. Not too bad. Sorry, Gunners. 4th, and I've got Chelsea. Chelsea won this pre-season summer Premier League. Maybe they'll win this season Premier League, but I'm not backing them. They did look very good, and I underestimated Pochettino. Although, you know, the Blues won't make a title charge, the ex-Spurs gaffer will take them to Champions League football, which is something that they should be really happy about, seeing as where they placed last season with Potter. Nkunku, he is going to be Chelsea's top scorer. Finally, they will have a striker who can actually score. Thank God. Well, not for me, but thank God for you Chelsea fans that the French striker is not number 9. Third, and I have Liverpool. Now, Liverpool's 67 points last season was a one-time thing, and I just believe the Reds will be back to their best. The likes of Macallister, he's a massive upgrade on Fabinho, in my opinion. I think he dropped off massively last season. So Bosley for Henderson, another upgrade. Klopp, he's just replacing the old players who, you know, probably aren't good enough to win a title, and he's replacing them with fresh, young, talented players. Them two could easily wear the badge for the next decade. I hate to give Liverpool so much love, but put some respect on Salah's name. He will just rip apart teams as usual. I think he was criminally underrated last season. Second, and I got Man United. I got my team, Man United. I'm backing the boys. Call me biased, I do not care. But Erik ten Hag have proved you lads wrong last season, and he's going to do it again. We will compete for the title. Onana, he improved the distribution, and goals conceded will completely drop off this season. Mount can dictate play effortlessly, whilst I do believe he'll bag a couple times. Lastly, Højlund at age 20 will finally fix our striker issue. Our team just looks more compact, more complete. I'm super excited. But yeah, you guessed it, in first. We've got City. Boring, boring, boring. You know what? This is weird because in the last 3 seasons when I've done this, I've always felt the need to, you know, give a congratulations to City because I try not to be biased, but I just can't do it this year. It is so predictable. Let's just hope we're proven wrong, lads. Cheers for watching, lads, and make sure you subscribe to get an empty crisp packet straight to your door.